Hello again. Welcome back to my channel. It's Jackie and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk to you guys about something that we all have in our kitchen. And you can tell by the title what this video is about. This stuff right here. Look at it, ripping already. Aluminum foil. Yes, aluminum foil. The other day I found out I was doing some stuff and I realized there's so many different things that you can use aluminum foil for that some of them I found out myself for the first time. So I thought since I just found out, maybe you guys might have found out too. So I decided I'd share. So let's just dive right on in. The first one is when you make cookies, you should not line your cookie sheet with aluminum foil. Some people do. I always use parchment paper, which I found out is the right thing to use, because if you use aluminum foil, it can make your cookies come out dark on the bottom, undercooked on the top, or just too brown, and they're going to be yucky and you're not going to like them. So don't use aluminum foil for your cookies. And I'm going to move pretty quick today because I got other stuff I got to do, but I want to get on here and I want to talk to you guys, and I want to share this with you because I had just found it out. So do you also know that you should not wrap your leftover food in aluminum foil? Who knew? I've been putting it over my food for years. Never thought nothing of it. But I found out that if you use aluminum foil to cover your food, it can make your food spoil faster because the air gets to the food, causes bacteria to grow, spoils your food. You should always use an airtight container or some type of Tupperware. I like to use glass because I told you in my other video I'm switching over. So I like to use glass containers to store my food. So if you're using aluminum foil, maybe you should stop because it might not be the best. Might not be the best thing. Also lining it at the bottom of the oven. And as we speak, I have a sheet of aluminum foil at the bottom of my oven, which I did not know was a fire hazard. I didn't know that it could cause the air not to circulate in your oven the right way, which could be the reason why. If you've got food that's not getting cooked right, or if it's just not browning the way you want it to brown, or doing whatever you want to do, it could be a reason why, because that piece of foil shouldn't be at the bottom of the oven. You can put it on the rack below whatever you're cooking to stop the drips, or like the other day I made a pie and it bubbled over, but I put a pan on. I had a pan sitting under. I had the pie pan on top of another aluminum pan. So when it cooked, because I expected it to bubble over, it didn't hit the bottom of the oven. So you could do that too, if you choose to. Also, what else did I leave out? Oh, you don't have to toss it after one use. Now, my grandmother never told me this, but maybe some of you out there have heard this. I don't know if your grandmother or your mother probably told you. You don't have to throw the aluminum foil away after one use. It can be washed and reused. Now, I've never done it. I've never done that. But it's good to know. Like if you're low on aluminum foil, because that has happened to me several times on holidays and things when you're cooking, and sometimes you run short on aluminum foil because you might be running out. You can always clean off the piece that you use if it's not too soiled or whatever, and you can rinse it and use it again. Wash it off and use it again, or use the other side. There's also some, I don't know if it's a myth or not, that you can use either side of the aluminum foil for certain things. They said it doesn't matter. I'm going to be honest with you. When I make baked macaroni and cheese, I found that using the shiny side of the aluminum foil, the macaroni won't stick to the aluminum foil. But if I use the other side, the dull side, and I put all my cheeses and everything in, and I cover it up, it sticks. So I'm not sure if that's actually accurate. However, some have said that it doesn't make a sense. It doesn't make a difference which side you use. You can use either side. That's what I've been told. Again, don't know if it's true. I think I reached everything. Now, there are some things that you can use aluminum foil for. It helps with roasting. If you're roasting something in the oven, like maybe potatoes, or because I know I usually use it if I'm making a baked potato. You want to wrap the potatoes up because it helps it to get soft. if you're roasting if you're roasting fries or meat or something like that, you can always use the aluminum foil for that. That it's helpful for that. It's also helpful. You know how when you throw out grease and they tell you not to pour the grease down the drain? You can line a bowl with aluminum foil. Pour the grease, once it's cooled, pour the grease into the foil. Let it get cold, let it solidify. And then just lift the foil out, wrap it up, toss it in the garbage. You don't even need to throw it down the drain. So there's a thought. If you've never done that, I just gave you a tip. You can use it to protect the pie crust. I use it all the time to I just recently bought these little silicone rings that go around the pie crust so that you don't burn it. But if you feel like your pie crust is burning a little bit quicker than you like for it, or it's getting a little bit browner than you'd like it to, you can take some aluminum foil and you can line around the pie crust. Put it around the pie crust so that only around the crust, only around the outer crust, not the whole thing. That way the edges don't get burned. Gave you another tip. You can use it to clean your dishes instead of steel wool. Did you know that? I didn't know that. You can, because you know, I don't buy steel wool because it always gets rusty when I'm washing dishes and it leaves stains on the sink and stuff, and I don't like that. It's just ugh. So what I've been doing is I was buying the what are they called? The Sponge Daddies, and those are pretty good, but I don't want to have to keep buying those things. And if I can use aluminum foil, it's right in the kitchen. Plus, this you could just boil it up, put it in a nice little bowl. Used one, I wouldn't advise you to use new aluminum foil. Just something that's been used that you've covered stuff up with. Use it, boil it up, scrub your dishes, and then wash it like steel wool. You can use it to sharpen scissors. If you like get a sheet of aluminum foil and you fold it over several times and then take the scissors or a knife and make it at least 6 layers, and then just keep cutting it or keep taking the knife through it, it sharpens the blade. If you didn't know, now you know. And also it makes crispy bacon. I always make my bacon in the oven. I don't like to put it in the pan because I don't like getting popped with grease. I hate that. And I always had experienced that as a kid when I was trying to make bacon when I was younger. I don't know if it's because the bacon that we were making, but it always popped and I didn't like getting popped with grease. So I decided to put it in the oven, and it cooks beautifully in the oven on a sheet of aluminum foil. You don't have to flip it or anything. It gets nice and crispy, evenly cooked. Never had a problem. I love it. I don't eat a lot of bacon. I don't. So I can't even tell you when the last time was I had bacon. But when I make it, I always put it in the oven. And for celery, if you're a person that uses celery, it preserves the life of the celery a lot longer. You can take the aluminum foil, take the celery out of the plastic, wrap the celery in foil. It keeps it crispy longer. So now I done gave you some tips that you can use. And if you didn't know, now you know. And if you did know, now you can just pass on to somebody else who doesn't know. And to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. To all the grandmothers, mothers, aunts, everybody who's doing stuff with the kids, everybody who's adding something to a child's life, happy Mother's Day. And I will see you all in my next video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you can think of anything that can be done or shouldn't be done with aluminum foil. Please let me know and put it in the comments below. Oh, I left off one thing. Do not put it in the microwave. I think everybody knows that because it can start a fire. It'll spark, start a fire. We don't want that. And I think mostly everybody who has a microwave and uses aluminum foil has figured that out by now. But I figured I would add it anyway. So like, comment, subscribe, please. Also, if you can think of something that I left off, put it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. See you in my next video. Bye.